Number 4 says find the length of the missing side. So since I see a right triangle and I have two sides, I can use the Pythagorean Theorem. So I'll write it down. It's on your formula chart. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Before I fill in numbers, I need to go label A, B, and C on my picture. The sides that form the right angle always have to be A and B. You draw that arrow that points away from the right angle is the hypotenuse, okay? So we're solving for the longest side, so my answer should be bigger than 30 and bigger than 40, okay? So I had a 30 beside my A, so you fill it in right underneath. Please take good notes. I'm going to bring down, there was a plus sign in the formula. The number by my B is a 40. I had squared in the formula, so I'm bringing that down. C is the one that's missing, so I'm going to leave that, the variable C. Okay, now on the left side of this equals, if I cover up this part, this is all together. This is all work that can be done in my calculator. So 30 squared plus 40 squared is 2,500. 2,500 equals c squared. So I'm trying to figure out some number times itself that is equal to 2,500. So to undo the squared, because if I was, see, this is the area of a side that is, if there was a square drawn out here on C, this is this big area. But this doesn't say to find a big area of a square. It just wants the length of this side, okay? So I don't want to leave it as c squared. I want it to get down just to c. So to undo the squared, I've got to take the square root. Alright, so second x squared 2,500 is 50 equals c. This had feet on it, so I've got to put that label on my answer so I don't lose points. Okay, remember that you want to go and put it in your picture just to see if it's making some kind of sense. C is the longest side, that's called the hypotenuse, and 50 is bigger than a 40, and 50 is bigger than a 30, so yes. Okay, on number 5, let's go purple. I've got two sides of a right triangle, so that is what the Pythagorean Theorem is for. Okay, so I have to go and label where is A, B, and C. Okay, so I'm going to put A, B, point it across, and that shall be C. Okay, so I'm missing a leg this time. So I'm going to go fill in numbers under the formula. I don't have my A. Bring down that plus. Beside the B it says 40. You have to put the squared on it because the formula said so. C says 41. Keep the squared. Okay, this time they were not on the same side, so I don't get to plus them, okay? But I do get to go to my calculator and do 40 squared, 1,600. I'm going to place it under that part. I'm going to do 41 squared, and that's, what's that? Oh gosh. 41 squared is 1,681. Okay, so I've still got my a squared and a plus up there in the front. Now, I'm trying to solve this equation for the variable a. I want a to be all alone so I can know the length of the side. So it's being squared. That's like attached to it. Leave that for last. Right beside my variable term, it says plus 1600. He's like looking at it. Look at it. He looks excited. Okay, I'm getting distracted. This is plus 1600, so minus 1600. Okay, that's a zero pair, so cancel it out. I'm going to bring down, I've got a squared equals 81. We had that earlier. Okay, so to take the squared off of it, I have to do the square root of both sides. So I'm doing the square root of 81 in my calculator. If it's one that you don't know, you just go punch them in, and that's a 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, so I got A equals 9. And this problem said inches, so label him. And then I go back to see if that's an okay answer. So I was missing a leg, so 9 has to be smaller than the hypotenuse C, and 9 is smaller than 41, so yes.